And joining me to discuss this is a lawyer, Monday Ubani. Good to have you join us.
Thank you for having me.
So let's get your thoughts on the latest, in this case, this suit that has now been filed by Ike Ekweremadu, and then the impact that it has on the case against him.
Yeah, I had to take time to read what the reliefs are, actually. And I discovered that the suit was filed purposely to obtain some vital document that would be very necessary for his defense in UK. He is asking for the certified true copies of the information that was disclosed by the alleged kidney donor to those agencies. I'm sure it all revolves around the issue of age. Because if you are saying that the young man gave consent, his age is very key to determining whether he can give consent. You can't give consent when you are less than 18 years. And according to the information given by the young man to the policeman in UK, he's saying that he's 15 years. So this vital information is very key for his defense. But I am wondering why the lawyer couldn't have probably applied directly to those agencies to obtain the certified true copy. Why does he have to go to the route of a court case? Maybe those agencies may have refused to release those documents to the lawyer. That's why a recourse to judicial proceeding. But I think that the first step would have been to apply to them directly to obtain certified true copies of this document, which ordinarily they are under obligation to provide under the law. But maybe they may have refused. That's why he has gone to court for this.
And I was going to ask you about that because, again, this is something that can be requested for. And I was going to ask you if you think that he probably suspects some discrepancies, but you have said that it's possible that he might have requested and not gotten them. But in this whole process, especially with the NIS and the Immigration Service and NIMC, do you think that there were discrepancies in how all of these was either the NIMC and the passport were obtained?
I don't think so, because I think the immigration has actually issued a public statement before now, agreeing that the young man was, I think, more than 15 years, as at the time he obtained the international passport. I'm also sure that he may have given some vital information to the Identity Management Agency, who will also keep those records and will be ready to release them now if ordered by the court. And so with all this information, it becomes very clear as to what age the young man is, different from what he now told the Metropolitan Police, the police in England. And so if this tallies with what will be the defense of Ekweremadu, all good for him. Because I think that the issue of age, as I said earlier, is very key. All over the world, there are standards for those who want to donate their vital organ to another person. The person must give his consent. It becomes issue of organ harvesting if it is done with any fraudulent intent. Whether the person is not aware, you now deceive that individual and probably use it for some other things, that is contrary to the provisions of the law. Now, it's also important that they also find out, as I said earlier, issue of his age, an issue of whether there is any financial inducement. Because if any financial inducement is mentioned in any paper and agreement, of course, that will be contrary to all known ethics and standard of in the medical world. These things are usually donated free. But we know what happens here in Africa. Most of them sell their parts. So I don't know whether such things are written down, which may count against him. So the man is looking for every available evidence, because he's appearing in court next month, and he needs all that evidence for his lawyers to actually be given a fair hearing in the UK courts.
I guess the issue of the financial inducement is why two commercial banks have also been mentioned in this suit. But wearing your legal heart, Barrister Monday Ubani, where exactly do you think that the foul play is? Because it does seem like something went wrong, whether in terms of consent or in terms of age. Where do you think that the foul play really is?
I think that the issue is that the young man may have actually gotten in contact with certain persons, either here in Nigeria or in UK, who may, I'm thinking aloud, who may have actually advised him not to go back to Nigeria and to suffering. And that the best thing he could do is to raise alarm in order to be given an asylum. And of course, he cannot obtain his asylum just for the sake of asking for it. There must be a very good reason why they will grant you an asylum. If you can prove that there has been a real threat to your life and to your existence, or there is issue of oppression, or anything that has been done wrongly to actually affect your life and all that, you can get an asylum in all these developed economies. So I think he may have actually come up with this because, one, I understand that he raised this alarm while he was on his way to be brought back to the country. He didn't raise that alarm in the hospital, contrary to what most of the things we read. It was when he was on his way back to the country that he now raised the alarm of his age and that he was brought here to come and walk. And then they are now, they took him for kidney donation and all that. For God's sake, he didn't even donate the kidney. It was found out that there was a mismatch. And so if there was a mismatch and your kidney was not in any way harvested, so why are you raising this alarm now at the airport? So these are the issues that will come up during the trial. Whatever it is, I think the entire thing is that everything will come clearer. Whether the young man himself is a scam or whether he has been clearly deceived into going to England or there was some level of fraudulent act on the part of Mr. Ekweremadu himself and his family. So these things will come clear when all the facts are presented before the court. But from the look of things, I think the young man was up to a game, because that particular alarm was raised at the airport when he was on his way back to the country. So that's what I think.
And we'll see how it plays out. Like you said, there is another hearing in July. We will see how it plays out. Thank you so much for talking to us, lawyer and former second vice president of the NBA, Monday Ubani. Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you for having me. Thank you very much.